What did they have to be afraid of? No one knows for sure, but their ancient writings reference a time of troubles from invaders they called the Sea People. The pagan Hittites appear to have flourished in the region for over 500 years. But in the 12th century BC, like another great and mysterious civilization, the Mayans, they vanished without a trace. The underground of Cappadocia was their last refuge, and I was going to see one of their very first subterranean cities. Elvon was taking me to Toprek, a place few outsiders have ever seen. Villagers have always known of its existence, but the rest of the world is just now learning about it.
Where are we going here?
Well, we're going up there. That's the original entrance of the underground city.
Oh, really? So these caves go throughout this entire face of rock?
Actually, yes. And the villagers say all around, wherever you see this rock formation, there are caves and tunnels.
God, cool. So this is the entrance here?
This is the entrance here, and this is the original. It's very rare. Mostly the original entrance is collapsed, you know?
Watch the spider web there.
Yeah. This is not open, I'm telling you.
Yes. Oh, but it's a big room in here. Wow, look at this. Look at the bats. Right there. So amazing.
With the exception of treasure hunters who scour this region looking for treasures left behind from the mysterious Hittites, the underground city here has been mostly untouched. Elvon said its crude construction meant it was one of the first and oldest cities. Cappadocians became more advanced in underground living as the threat up above forced them deeper and deeper into the ground. As rival tribes or the mysterious sea people approached, these villagers abandoned their lives up above and prepared to wait it out down below.
What are these holes over here?
They're the wells for water storage. There are two kinds of wells. These are called dry wells. This is where you store the water.
Okay, so the water was brought here?
Yeah, brought here and stored in here.
Poured right in.
Yeah. And there's another system, which is called the wet well. And they grew these waterways and then direct the water inside the underground city and then directly into the well.
So it was like a primitive aqueduct system?
Yeah.
They had water, specially carved out ventilation shafts, and months' supplies of food. But that wasn't enough. They needed protection. Throughout these narrow tunnels snaking from room to room in the underground city were remnants of an ancient defensive system used during times of siege.
They've got another defense here, another millstone to roll into place, because I guess there's an important room down this way.
Millstones weighing up to a ton were rolled in front of the entrances to shut off access into parts of the city. It was simple and genius. Because the stones were round, inside the rooms, just a few men could easily roll one of these stones into place. But from the other side, even an army couldn't budge it. This was the first evidence of the complexity of life in these underground cities. And who knows how many ancient people died right here, fighting in these tunnels.
This millstone's actually in place. It's been rolled into blocks of clay. And I mean, this has been here for 3,000 years, because no mortal man, certainly not me, can move it. You can see, oh yeah, down this hall, the tunnel just continues on. But we ain't going there.
I had already found evidence of an underground battlefield and advanced engineering left behind by the pagan Hittites. But what I had just seen was only the beginning. Up next, an underground fortress to defend against a violent siege.
Those are for the spears. They kill the enemy by the head.
Oof, and that's not going to be pretty.
And later,
these are graves here.
Yeah, they're children's graves.
Wow.
digging up the mysterious roots of Christianity. Cappadocia is a hotspot for UFO sightings. In the early 80s, hundreds were reported in less than 1 year's time. 4,000 years ago, the Hittites, a powerful and advanced pagan empire, arrived in Cappadocia and around 1200 BC dug into this volcanic soil to create lethal military forts. They lived like ants in their subterranean cities, warding off invaders. When they mysteriously vanished in the 12th century BC, they left massive hand-carved cavities beneath the ground. Cavities that would become increasingly useful in the 1st century AD, when another persecuted group, the Christians, came to town. And in Ozganach, a small village in the northern region of Cappadocia, this exotic new religion was able to take root and flourish underground. I met up again with Elvan, who knows the underground of Cappadocia better than anyone else. Because Ozganach is the 3rd largest underground city in Cappadocia, the local government installed a secure entrance to prevent treasure hunters from stealing any precious artifacts.
This is the entrance.
Excellent. Let's go.
But I was granted special access inside, and once in, I knew exactly what they were protecting.
Wow, so this is the carved out stone we're seeing.
Yes, and we're at the 1st floor of this underground city, which was used as a stable.
Okay.
They were bringing their animals in with them and tying them here.
Oh, I see. So they actually roped them up
Roped them up.
and they carved them right out of the rock.
Yeah.
What is
yeah.
this? These openings long?
These openings are for their eating.
Oh, I see.
This is their dish.
So this is totally functional. There's just a bunch of hay there. And
This is where they eat.
Oh my God! Look, so there's a space above.
Space above, space below, everywhere. Yeah, ventilation.
Keeps going on
Yes.
and on.
We were standing on the 1st level of a multi-level city. The animals occupied the 1st level, and the villagers took cover on the 2nd level, 18 feet beneath the ground. In fact, over 3,000 people could live in this massive complex for months at a time. It was essentially an ancient version of a modern bomb shelter.
If they went to all this trouble to build something so far underground and so vast, the threat they were facing must have been enormous.
When they were first attacked by the Arabs, they were throwing burning bushes through the shafts.
The ventilation
Yes,
shafts.
and people were in the 1st floors were dying because of the smoke. So they decided to go deeper and wider. They needed more protection every year.
As the military threat grew, so did the undergrounds.
That's exactly what happened.
It all started in the 1st century AD, when Christians began to use the underground to escape persecution from Roman soldiers. In the year 303, the last and most aggressive persecution was launched. Thousands of Christians throughout the empire were hunted and killed. But it didn't end there. Muslim Arab armies continued the Christian persecution, but when they arrived in the villages up above, they found a ghost town. 3 secret tunnels in the village and passageways underneath homes allowed the Christians to quickly retreat to safety. Once the invading armies realized the villagers were sitting ducks beneath their feet, the real battle began. But little did they know, the Christians were ready.
In the underground cities, you have very narrow and winding, slopey tunnels.
Okay.
The first reason is air circulation. When you have these slopes, the air circulates much faster and better.
So it compresses the